What category of functions we discussed it? So yesterday I missed the group by, right? First we need to discuss about that one. Okay. Understand? Okay. First, what is group by? Okay. Group by is nothing but summarizing the data. Okay. So what is group by? That I will discuss you. Okay. Suppose for example, there is an ID column is there. Okay. And here, like there are multiple records are there. Okay. The same value multiple times it is repeated in some cases. Okay. And 2, 2, like 3, 4, 4, 4, like this it will be there. Okay. This is a sales column. Sales having each value having a different one. Okay. 200, 300, 400, 100, 500, 600, 300, 200, 400. Like this it will be there. Actually, these are the records of this particular table. Okay. So I want to see like for one, how many sales are there, that total I need to calculate it, or else average I need to calculate, or else minimum function I need to apply it, or else maximum function I need to apply it. Okay. So that means if one having how many, suppose for example, I want to calculate the total sales. For one, what is the total sales? That means these are the individual records, but I want to see overall. That means one having how many values are there. I want to calculate the sum or anything, sum, average, minimum, maximum, count. If you want to count like one, how many number of records are there, like this. Suppose if it is a sum, like how much it is, like 900. I want to display 900. If it is a 2, for this one, 600. Okay. For 3, only one record is there. That record only it will be displayed. Okay. If it is 4, how many are there? For all the total, it will be calculated. That means 300 plus 700, 900. Okay. That means, so from the individual record, these are the individual records. From the individual records, I want to see overall of that particular one. That means this we can call it as summarizing the data. Summarizing one means overall data. This is some related calculation you are performing. Okay. Suppose, for example, average also you can calculate it. Suppose if I'm calculating the average for how many number of records are there? What is average? Sum of values by number of values. For one, how many values are there? 900. 900 divided by how many number of values are there? That means sum of values 200 plus 300 plus 400. How much it is? 900. 900 divided by how many number of values are there for one? 3. 900 divided by 3 means it is 300, like this. One is 300. Next, 2. That means, see here, how many values are for 2, how many sales are there? 100 plus 500. That means how much it is? 600. 600 divided by how many number of values? 2. That means 600 divided by 2 means it is also 300. Okay. Next, 3 is 600. Only one value is there. That's the reason direct value. For 4, how much it is? 300. That means 400 plus 300 plus 200. How much it is? 900. 900 divided by 3. Like this is an average. Okay. That means in group by we can apply different functions. Okay. Those functions we can call it as aggregation functions. Okay. That means what are aggregation function? Sum, min, max, average, count, count distinct. These we can call it as aggregation functions. That means in group by, if you want to see, if you want to summarize the data, any of these functions we can apply it and we can see one record for each and every value. Understand? This is individual data, individual wise data, you can see it. But this is summarizing. After summarizing, you will see this is the data, right? So that means if you want to summarize the data means you have to use different functions. Okay, sum, okay, minimum function, and maximum function, okay, average, count, and count distinct. Okay, distinct. By using any of these functions, we can summarize the data. These functions, we can call it as aggregation functions. Aggregation functions. Understand? So I want to see this is the result like this. Okay. Let's see with example how this group by function is applied. Okay. Let's see with example. Understand? First, you have to go to that particular one. Okay. I'm taking a new screen. In this new screen, okay, I'm taking a data table. See, in this data table, I'm loading in OneDrive data into this one. Okay, in this one, so there are so many columns out there, but I want location wise. See, location and VIP level. I'm taking these two columns. What I want to do is, see, in the table one, that means when you are connecting with OneDrive data, that means, okay, when you are going with OneDrive data, uh, when I go with the OneDrive data, see here, these are the individual data. Okay, so there are different records are there. These are the individual records. Okay, but I want to summarize the data. So which column I want to summarize it? Suppose, for example, see here, how many Canadas are there? This is a Canada and this is a Canada. Like that, there are different Canadas are there. For each and every Canada, there are different VIP levels is there. But I want to see summarizing the data. But instead of individual, like different Canada records, I want to see overall Canada, what is that one? Then let's see how we can apply it. Okay. So first of all, I need to go to that particular one. So see here, there are different Canadas are there, VIP levels. No, I don't want to see like this. Then what I need to do? I want to see like overall for each location wise. For Canada, how many VIPs are there? For all the VIPs, I need to calculate the sum or average, minimum, maximum, count distinct. Any of the function you can apply it. Okay, let's see in this one. Suppose, for example, first, what you need to apply group by. What is that function? Group by. Group by is nothing but summarizing the data. Very important function. Don't forget it. Group by is nothing but summarizing the data. Okay. So in group by, first you have to write the table name, comma. Another one is group by related columns. You have to write it here. Okay. So that means, suppose, for example, like 1 second, I'm taking an example. I want to see Okay. Now, see here. So, what columns you want to group it? Those columns, first you have to mention it here. That means, how can I perform this one is, like what columns, with what columns you need to perform. That means, I want to take two columns, like location as well as agent wise name. Okay. The combination of location column and agent column. For these two related, what are all the VIP levels are there? I want to calculate it. Let's see with example. Okay. Whichever group by related column, first you have to write those group by related. What is the group by related columns? Location. Okay. First you have to select the location, comma. So how many group by related columns you want to see? That means like how you can see is like location as well as agent name. Okay. There is an agent name column is there. Okay. See here. Okay. So whatever group by related columns are there, first you have to mention it. Okay. And after this, for all these for all these columns, I want to give one particular name. That means whatever columns we are mentioned, all these columns are taken as one group. That group name, whatever it is there, you have to give that one. That means the group name, anything you can give it. Like suppose, for example, I'm giving the group name as G. That means here, whatever columns we are mentioned, group by columns, all these are considered as group by. All these columns are summarize it. It will summarize the data. Okay, that means the combination of location and as well as agent. Okay, it will take the distinct values. The combination of location and agent. First of all, I will show with one column related. Then you will understand what it is. Okay, location wise, I want to see it. For if you mention group by column means after mentioning for all those columns you have to give one name. That means that it will consider as a group. Okay, that name. So first you have to mention the group by related column, whichever columns you required, you have to mention it. At last you have to give the name of that group. Okay, suppose name is G. Okay, that's it. That means for this location group by related column, G is the name. Then that means what is that one? This location, okay, it will summarize and it will show the result here. Understand clearly or not? Okay, it will summarize this particular location. That means each location, one record only, it will show that. Understand? For that, for that, so what you have to mention, you have to mention the column names. After mentioning the column names, you just need to mention the group name. Must and should you need to mention the group name. That means suppose you have three column group by related, so you have to mention first, you have to mention the group, those three columns, and after at the last these three columns you need to summarize it. For that you have to give the name of the. Understand? This is the group name. Understand clearly or not? Close the bracket. Put it. See, now what I need to do is remove it. Okay. See here. See here. For Canada, only one record. Okay. If any record is repeated more than one time, no, it will show only one record. Understand clearly or not? This is called as group by. But so instead of taking one column, there is no use of it. Okay, what I need to calculate, that means for each location wise, how many VIP levels are there? For all the VIP levels, you have to apply the different aggregation functions on VIP level. Okay, so for that, what I need to do, that means first this is the group by. Okay, after applying a group by, I want to perform an aggregation function on any of the particular column. That means you are adding a new column. For that, if you want to add the new column to the existing table, means you have a function called add columns, right? Okay. In add columns, comma, what you want to calculate it. Total VIP level. I'm giving the name of that particular new column, okay? Because I need to add the new column to this one. That's the reason add column function. So that means total VIP level, column name, comma. So what operation you want to, what aggregation function you need to apply it. Okay, I'm applying a sum. Okay, sum function. Not only sum, average, min, max, those also you can apply it. Okay, you're applying the sum function. So in some function, first what group by name is there, that you have to give it here. Okay, what is the group by name is there? Group name, what it is there, that you have to give it first, comma. Okay, what is the column name? On which column you want to perform some, that column name you have to choose it. Okay, look, sorry, not location, VIP. See, VIP column is there. Okay, I'm applying this one. Okay, see here. Now this column I need to add it here itself. What is the column name? Total VIP level. That column you need to add it. See here, total VIP. This group name, no need to mention it here. Okay, see here. What is the value it is displaying? For Canada, 35. That means Canada, whatever the VIP levels are there, all the VIP levels are calculating the sum. Okay, let's see with example. Okay, so what value it is showing, like each and every record you can select it. Okay, and see here, like suppose for Canada. For Canada, it is getting 35 result, right? Whether it is correct or not, you can check it here. What is the value here? In here, 35 it is getting. Okay, so I'm selecting a Canada and see like how much value is there. See here, what is the sum? 35. 35, it will automatically, it will shows the value. Understand clearly? Okay. Suppose Australia. For Australia, what is the value here? 20 it is displaying. Select the Australia and see whether it is correct. See? So for all these VIP levels, how much it is? 20. That 20 value is displaying here itself. For you also like this. Okay. So that means only one column we can take it. We need to see multiple. Like suppose, for example, these are the group by columns. Whatever location is there, right? These are grouping columns. Okay. And these are aggregation related columns. Vijay, can we take multiple group by related columns? Yes, you can take it. Suppose, for example, see here in group by, okay, so location I'm taking one more column. What is that column? Segment name, or what is that one? Like agent name. Okay, agent name I want to calculate it. Okay, agent name, that column name. See, for all these group columns, for one group name is enough. So how many group by related columns you want to see? You can give all the group by related columns. Okay, you can give all the group by related columns. For all the group by related columns, you just need to give one name is enough. Understand or not? See here. So which column is required? And take that particular column. What is that one? Agent name. See here. Now see the result. Okay, for Canada, for Mark Sidling, 26 value is there. Whether it is correct or not, see, you can check it here. Okay, for location I'm selecting Canada. Okay, and what is another one value? For Mark Sidling agent name is there, right? For Mark Sidling agent name. Okay, this is the one. Then see what result it is getting. What it is getting? T2. No, this one is also there, right? So how much it is? 26. See, the 26 is getting like this. That means whenever it is showing like, so in group by, you can take n number of group related columns. Okay, for all the group columns, you can give the group name. One group name is enough. Okay, for all these columns, you just need to mention one group column. Okay, one group name. Okay, and this one, so if you want to calculate total sales, then sum function. Total means sum. Okay, average. So if you want to apply average, okay, then you have to apply average function. See here, average also you can apply it. It will be calculated. Understand clearly? Okay, so like this, any function you can apply it and number of things, because in previous skills also, like if you are a Power BI, if you know Power BI, if you know like a skill server, you will understand. So those people, these are the things is easy for you, but now we are applying this one like this. Understand clearly? In Power Apps, this is the format we can give it a group by function. Understand? Let's see once again. I will explain you in what is group by. Group by is nothing but a summarizing the data. Okay, that means instead of seeing overall data, like record wise seeing the overall data, instead of seeing the overall data, I want to see like individual data. When you are seeing the individual data, I want, based on that, I want to see the overall data. That means for each and every location, what is that average of the sales, average of the VIP levels, what it is there that I want to perform. This is what my target is. So for that, in group by, if you want to see the overall data, then you have to use different aggregation functions, sum, min, average, count distinct. All these things we can calculate it here. Okay. So that means first what you need to do, you are applying a group by. In this group by, first you have to write the table name and which columns you want to group by, which columns you want to group it. Those column names first you have to write it. For all those columns, you have to give the group name. Must and should, you need to give the group name. Otherwise, it will throw us an error. Okay. And so these columns are grouped. And for these columns, I want to perform an aggregation operation. So that means that aggregation also, what it will happen, it will add it to the existing table or not. Okay, it will add it to that new column need to be added in the existing table. For that, which function I need to add column. In the add columns, this is the data source. Instead of taking data source name, I need to take this one. This is the data source name. Okay, that means if this is a table, consider as this is a table. Okay, for this table, what operation you want to perform it? First, you have to give the column name. In add columns, column name, and after that, what operation you want to perform, you can perform it, right? So I'm giving the total, I'm giving the column name. For this particular column, what aggregation you want to perform it? You can apply the aggregation function, any like sum, min, max, average, count, all these functions you can apply it. And first you have to write in average function or any aggregation function, you have to write the group name. What is the group name here? G. So that's the reason I'm giving G here. G comma the average function will be calculated on which column, that column name you have to write. Understand clearly or not? This is how you can apply the group by related function. Understand? Anyone having any doubts? Most of the functions in Power Apps are using in add column functions, right? So yeah, because see why I'm writing in add columns only, because so whatever functions you are applying to the existing table itself, right? That means you want to apply those related column to the existing table. So if you want to add the new column to the existing table, then we have to use must and should, we have to use add columns, right? So that's the reason most of the functions are applied in add columns. That means, so by taking an input of the existing table, I am performing a new calculation on new columns. For that means if you want to take the existing column for those columns, based on those columns, I want to perform a new operations means, then must and should you have to use add columns only. Understand clearly or not? Because those related data, we want to show it in different elements like a gallery, data table, and in these elements I want to show. That's the reason I'm taking an add columns. Understand? Okay. Anyone having any doubts in this one? Okay. So this is about group by function. Suppose, for example, and one more important point here it is like suppose if the numeric column is in data type, if numeric column is in character data type, character data type. If numeric column is in character data type, then I want to convert the character data type of the column to numeric, or not only this one, like whichever decimal, if you want to convert it, then we have to use a function called value. But whenever V category will comes, I will explain you clearly what is value function. Suppose if someone want to practice with the data, okay, your column is in text data type. Then with that column only, you are doing some other operation. You are not able to do it. You don't know what function to convert in from character data type to numeric. Then so for that reason only, I'm saying now you have to use a function called value. Okay, by using value function, we can convert the character data type of the numeric column or decimal column into numeric. Understand clearly or not? So if anyone want to practice it, so you better to use. Suppose, for example, how can I use it, Vijay? Suppose, for example, if VIP column is in character data type, then what I told you, you have to apply the value function here. See, value of, this is the function, value of, inside the value function, you just need to pass the column name. What is the column name? That column name, like so this is the column name, right? You just need to pass that. Understand clearly? Okay, you just need to pass it. That means whichever column is in text data type, that column you want to convert into numeric or numeric, then we have to use a function called value. Inside the value function, you just need to pass uh, the column. That's it. Then automatically the character data type of the column is converted into numeric. Understand clearly? Because someone want to practice it with the tables. So for that, you don't know how to apply this one. So you need to apply like this. Okay. After converting a numeric value, this value, this After applying a value function, this complete part will be converted into numerical. After converting a numeric, the average function is applied here. Understand clearly or not? Okay, like this. So if anyone want to practice it, but right now it is not required, but directly it is changing, right? Okay, understand or not? So this is about the group by related column. Okay, very important one. Understand? Next one is like however it is completed, if part is completed. Next one is if error. What is if error? I want to convert into decimal. Means what I do. See, they same thing like value function only it will be there. Value will support all either numeric or decimal related. It will support it. Understand? Is it clear or not? Behra? Okay. So next one is if error. So in yesterday's class, we are discussing about the if condition. If is a logical function. If is a logical function. That means if the condition is satisfied, then the statements will return. That means in if we can that means in if we can write multiple condition, we can return multiple statements. Understand? Okay. Actually, if you are using Power BI or SQL Server, okay, SQL Server and Power Apps both are if function is same. Okay, but in Power BI, like in if there are only two statements we can return. Okay, but here in Power Apps, in if by right you can write multiple condition, you can return multiple statements. Yesterday I clearly show you how you can apply this one, right? See here in this one, like which one? The if. Okay, first condition. Okay, this is a condition, logical test. Okay, so column name, operator, and value you have to give. If suppose if it is in character, what I told you, you have to convert it into by using value function. You can convert it into numeric or decimal. Understand? So that means if this condition is satisfied, then what statement? This is the statement. Like this condition, this is again one more condition. This is the statement. Again one more condition. This is the statement. Okay, like this. If you have like 5 condition up to 4 condition condition statement like that, but final one directly you can return the statement. Okay, understand clearly or not? This is if function. Okay, next one is like if error. Okay, it is also similar like if one, if only, but the thing is whenever it is getting an error, in place of error, alternative result is also getting here. Okay, in place of that particular error, alternative result. Okay, whenever it is getting an error, it will give the alternative results. What is that one, Vijay? I didn't understand. What is alternative result? Okay, let's see with example. Suppose, for example, I'm taking a two text boxes. In the two text boxes, in one of the text boxes, I'm giving a value. In one of the text box, I'm giving a value. In another text box, another value I'm giving. Whenever I'm calculating a division, okay, actually, whenever it is calculating a division, for that it results are getting like after calculating a division, what result it is getting that it will show. But in one of the case, it shows an error. What is that one? Like anything value divided by 0. In that particular case, Power Apps will generate an error. Okay, let's see with example. I'm taking a text input. Okay, this is a text input. And another one is another text input. Okay. These are the two text inputs. So based on this first text input and second text input, I want to calculate the division. So that division, I want to put it in the label, text label. Okay. Then I'm putting here itself. Okay. Okay. So in text input, like I don't want to give the that means text here. Okay. Remove it. I want to remove it the text because otherwise by default it will shows text input is the text it is showing, but I don't want that one. Okay, just that's the reason I'm removing. So, and here what I want to perform it like see here. Okay, whatever value I'm entering here, that it will consider as a numerator. Whatever value I'm entering in this particular text box, that it is that it will take it as a denominator value. So here in this one, I'm calculating a division. So whatever the first text box input is there, that it will consider as a numerator. Second text box is as a denominator. And those calculation, it will calculate the division and what result it is getting that I want to show that particular one. Okay. Suppose, for example, here, see, in this text box, whatever you are entered, okay, that means, so whatever text in this text box, what value you are entering, that I need to pick it. So for that one, what I am writing here it is, what is this text box name? That text box name, okay, that means text input, text input 2 dot what value. That means you're giving some value, right? So in the text box whatever it is entered, that value if it would pick means first you have to give the text box name of that particular text box. What is the name here? Text input. See here, text input 2. Okay, so dot text, because that is a text value, right? You are entering something, right? So you have to call with this like this. Understand clearly? Why it is happening like that? Sorry, and not here in this you are calculating, right? So what is that? Text input 2 dot text. That means whenever you are giving like this in the text to, that means in that first text box whatever value you are given, that it will consider as a numerator value. Understand? This is a numerator value. Denominator value like a text 3 input, text input 3 dot text again, that value. That means, so see here, what will happen here? Whatever value you are taken here, that value as a numerator text, first text box, whatever it is there, that one, second text box value like this. Okay. But see here, whenever you are calculating this one, it will shows an error. What is that error? Suppose, for example, I'm giving 3 here. Okay, and here I'm giving like 4 here, then 3 divided by 4, how much it is? 0.75. Okay, but if denominator text box contains a 0, then what it will returns? It will throws an error. Did you observe that or not? I didn't understand. Like see here, whenever you run the application, it will shows an error. Okay, see here, what error it is showing on the top? Invalid operation division by 0. That means anything value divided by 0, definitely Power Apps will throws an error. Remember this one. Okay. Instead of doing this, what you have to use is, if that case, if whenever that particular error will comes, in place of that, you need to give alternative value. Okay, that means instead of displaying like error, I want to generate one value. For that, you have to use a function called if error. I'm writing. So whatever I'm writing here, whatever numerator value divided by denominator, just these things, you have to put it in if error, function. In if error function, whatever value you want to, you can give it. This is, I want to give the normal division. So whenever anything value divided by 0, in that particular case, it is error, right? So in that case itself, instead of that error, I want to generate a value. That value, we can call it as 0. Any value you can give it, but you have to give the numeric value, because this numerator divided by denominator value, what it is generating, it is a decimal value or numeric value it is generated, right? That means your output was, that means your alternative result also must and should be there in a numeric or a decimal. Understand? Now it won't show any error message. Previously, anything value divided by 0, it will throws an error here itself. But now, so it won't throws an error. What is the default value that it will return? Suppose instead of this one, if I'm giving 2, 3 divided by 2, how much it is? That value it will return. That means in this one, whenever it is, if any errors are there, in place of errors, if you want to generate alternative result, then you have to use a function called if error. Understand? So instead of writing this here, see here, instead of writing this, you can apply in a new column and you are calculating the division there itself. You are calculating the division there also, you can pass it. Just column names, numerator column divided by denominator column, you can perform there and you can generate the result. But there are different cases. Every time I'm showing in add columns only I'm adding, right? So instead of that one, we need to take the text boxes. So in the text boxes, whatever values we are entering, based on that, it will calculate the results. I want to show it, but that's the reason I'm taking it. Understand clearly or not? This is if error function. Okay. Okay. Next, what is the next one? Index. What is index function will do? Okay, but most of the times we didn't use that one. Okay, so I'm putting in brackets optional. Okay, don't worry, I will share this today. I will share this document. Okay, this categories of functions, I will share it, as well as I will share the document also. Today I will share the document. Okay, A and B category of functions I gave it, right? C and D category functions, I will send it to you. Okay, before Monday you will have the document in the Google Classroom. Please check it from there itself. Understand? Index is optional, but I will tell you what is index will do. Understand? So suppose, for example, okay, leave it about this one. Like I'm taking a data table. Any element you can take it and display it. But most of the times, if you show the things in the table, then you will, by seeing that, you will understand what result it is getting, right? That's the reason most of the times I'm taking data table. Understand? So here, what table? The table name. And in this one, like see here, I want to display few of the, I want to take few of the columns, like agent name, customer number, like whichever columns you required it, you can give those things. Okay, in this one. So if I'm applying an index, what is index function do? That means if you want to return a particular record, in a table, whatever columns you are taken, that means whatever records are there, in all the records, in one of the record value only I want to show it. In one of the record value only I want to show it. Then we have to use a function called index. What is that? Index. Okay. Index, first table name, comma, which record you wanted, which row related. Suppose, for example, fourth row or fifth row or sixth row or seventh row, that numeric value you need to give it here. Suppose I'm giving for 8. That means what will happen? Eighth record from that particular table. That means eighth row, it will be displayed. See here. What is the eighth row record will be there? That it will be displayed. Okay. If it is seventh row, 5. Okay. See here. Different value. Fifth row, ninth row, 10th row, whichever row, one particular row related you want to display it, then you have to use a function called index. What is that? Index. Understand or not? Let's see. Next one is int function. Int means, what is int functions will do? There are two functions are there. Int, another one here, trunc. These two functions. What these two functions will do? Int and trunc. Int and trunc, as it is value will be displayed. If a numeric or a decimal value, suppose for example, 345.678. What user is saying? I don't want decimal values. Then what will happen? If I want to display up to before decimal place value, whatever it is there that I want to. So in any of the application, what is the behavior of that one? That means, so suppose I don't want decimal values. If I remove the decimal places means it will round and it will give the result. That means it will give 346. It will round the value and it will generate a value. That's the reason it is generating 346. Understand clearly enough? 346. That means it is rounding and it will. But I don't want round any particular value. As it is value, I need to display it. That means I want to remove the decimal places means if I remove the decimal places, what values are there? That value as it is value will be displayed. Then you have to use a function called int. See, like this. Without rounding, I want to display as it is value. Then you have to use either int or trunc function. Int function will always before decimal place values only it will display. That means int function cannot display the decimal place values. Only before decimal places values it will display. Okay. This is int function. Always before decimal places values. But in trunc function, okay, in trunc function, what is happening? Either you can display before decimal value or a specified decimal place value also you can display. Suppose, for example, so this is a value, okay, up to second decimal place. Up to second decimal place, what value is there? As it is value will be displayed. 345.67. This is trunc. 345.67. It will be displayed. Suppose I want to display first decimal up to. So from here in this value up to first decimal place value, what it is there? As it is value will be displayed without rounding. Understand? Okay. So if you want to display before decimal place value, what it is there? 345 is there. 345. That means if any as it is value decimal place decimal values as it is without rounding I want to display it, you have to use two functions, int or trunc functions. Okay, let's see with example. See here, you want to remove it. I'm adding a new column to the existing table. Okay, add columns. In this one, I'm applying a int. Okay. The column name is, I'm giving int. Whatever function name is there, I'm mentioning the same column. Here, comma, either you can give the column name or else you can use the static values also. Okay. So here, what function it is? Int function. Okay. Inside the int function, you can give the column name or you can give the static values also. But in our columns, there is no specified decimal place values are there. That's the reason I'm passing a uh, static values here. What is the static value here? Suppose 345.670. Like this it will be there. Then see what result it is getting. Okay. Now I need to add that particular column. So if I want to add that particular column, see here 345 only it will be displayed. Understand or not? See, that means always int function will display before decimal place values only. Suppose if it is a trunc function. Trunc of, what is the value here? 345.670, same value. And comma, after giving column name or a static value in trunc function, you have to mention up to which decimal places. Okay. Suppose I want to give up to second decimal place. Then you have to give 2. If you want to display third decimal, if you want to display first decimal, that number you need to give it there and close it. Understand? Now add the trunc column also. See here, as it is without rounding up to that particular decimal place, it is displaying. Suppose if you give 1 up to 1 first decimal place only, it will display. Understand clearly or not? Int and trunc functions is like this. Next, is blank. If the column, if any of the column contains a blank values, then it will returns true. Okay. For those particular rows, it returns true. Okay. Is blank is nothing but is equal to blank. Is equal to blank. If the column contains any of the blank values are there, in whichever rows the blank values are there, for those related rows, it is displaying as a true. Otherwise, it returns as false. Understand clearly or not? See here is comma is blank of. Inside this one, you have to mention the column name. Suppose, for example, I'm giving agent name column. Okay. So whichever column you want, you can pass it just it here. Okay. That's it. That related column, you need to pass it here. What is that column? See here, all are returns false. In whichever rows blank values are there, for those rows it returns true. Otherwise, it returns false. Understand clearly or not? Next one. Okay. Next one is match. So any of the value is matched, then returns true. Otherwise, returns false. That means I didn't understand. I will show you. Okay. Suppose, for example, so if I'm taking location also, then uh, now I need to add one more column. Like what is that? Is match. is match function. Okay, is match of is match. So first you have to select the column name. That means what is the column name here? Like location, something like this. Okay, and here which value? Suppose I'm giving any value. Okay, inside the double quotes in the location there is a Canada value is there, right? That means in this column, in location column, whichever rows having a Canada is there, for that particular rows, it returns true. Otherwise, it returns false. Okay, let's see. Let's add that particular column. See here, this for this particular row, true it is because for this particular row, Canada is there. This row, true. Like this, whichever rows having a Canada value is there, that related value for those rows, it returns true. Otherwise, it returns false. Understand clearly or not? Next function. What is the next function? In. See here. That means is match means the complete string value you need to give it here. That match, it will, if it is matched, then returns true. But in function, the part of the string, that means part of the string, it will check it whether it is there in that particular cell value. If it is there, for those rows, it returns true. Let's see. What is that function name? In. Okay. In. What in function will do? In. In. One second. In function is that okay. Suppose, for example, one second. In is an operator. Let's see. Column name is suppose, for example, in. Okay. In this one. Okay. What I want to check it is first, suppose, for example, inside this one, AN related. In which column in you have to use it? What is that? In operator. In which column you want to check it? Like location. Okay. Location. What is that column? That column name you have to pass it here. Then what will happen in this location column? Like AN related what values are there? Okay, in each and every cell value, whether AN is there or not, it will check it. If AN is there, it returns true. Otherwise, it returns false. Let's see. Okay. In this particular one only, I am added. Okay. Then what is that function? What is that one? Like in only, right? You have to use. See what result it is getting. See here, AN is there. Here AN is there. Okay. That means it returns true here. Is there AN is here? In this particular location column, Brazil is there. In the Brazil, AN value is there. AN character is there. No, that's the reason it returns false. Here it is AN is there. True, it returns. See here, AN is there because in Germany, AN is there. Like this, see, in is match function, complete part of the string, it will, whether it is there or not, it will check it. If it is there, it returns true, otherwise it returns. But part of the string, if you want to check it, then you have to use a function called in. That means in a string, part of the characters, you want to check it whether it is there or not. For those related, you have to use a function called in. Understand clearly or not? Any doubts in this one? This is about I category related. Okay. So in the next class, that means in Monday, we need to discuss like L category and after that M category like that. Okay. So if you know like Power BI and everything, the same functions here, there also it is available. Few of the functions, it is not there here. So those functions we need to discuss it here. That's it. Remaining same as it is. How you can apply, you need to know. That's it. Understand clearly? Okay. So once all the categories are completed, I will share this one. Okay. So what functions I applied? Don't worry. Once all the categories of functions are completed, once again we need to overview of all the functions. Okay. Meanwhile, I will send the document also. You just need to go through that one, and based on that, you just need to follow that one. So whatever document, Power Apps document I share it, everyone will understand or not? Prabhavati, is the document is clear or not? Please share the class notes group by function as well. Yeah, sure, definitely. Okay. So up to now, whatever document I shared it, is everyone will clearly understand the document or not? Kundan and Prabhavati. Okay, thank you. Okay, yeah, thank you guys. Like because each and everything, like how it will be there in the class itself, same with the screenshot with explanation also, it's very clear. So better to go with those documents regularly and you will understand it. Understand? So we can stop it here and we'll meet on Monday itself. Okay. Thank you guys. Bye.